Merry meet, guys. Welcome back to Witches of the Moon. I am Houston, your Wednesday hostess, usually. But this week, I was in the process of moving, so I didn't have internet until a couple days ago. Well, 2 days ago, and I was still moving. Today I got some downtime, so I wanted to make this week's video, which is wand or Athame, and does it matter? Or is one better than the other? So, I wanted to do a kind of show what I have and also how I use both of the tools. Do I believe one's better than the other, or more capable, or can you go without one or the other? You don't, in my opinion, you don't need tools, but I like them. I like tools a lot, as you will see. I have a lot of many different wands and a couple different Athames, and I do use a sword on occasion. So what I mainly use, we'll start with Athames. What I mainly use an Athame for is for cutting. Not, of course, not the physical, but the energetic or ethereal energies. Like if I'm using it to cut cords, I would use an Athame, or I do have a small knife that I use for healings, but I don't come near the person, or if they're not comfortable with it, I have a selenite wand that does the same thing. Just because selenite has that energy where it shreds everything, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it. But for an Athame, I use to cut up, to cut a barrier for the circle if I'm casting a circle, to cut ties, to direct energy. Just like it can be used like a wand in that fashion. I've never used an Athame to summon something. Like if I'm calling on an elemental or an element or a deity, I wouldn't summon a deity. Well, and you could call them forth. But to bring forth energy, I would not use an Athame for that. That I would use a wand. I use a wand, like I said, to bring forth energy. I also use it to cast a circle. I think that's where they kind of intermingle, because they're both used to direct energy. The wand, I feel, is more associated with air, and the Athame is more, for me, considered with fire. That's reversed of the tarot, if we read tarot, where the wands or the clubs are fire, and the swords or the swords or daggers or knives are air. So it's a little bit backwards, but that's how, after studying and experiencing, in my experiences, that's what I've come to. In the beginning, I wasn't like that. I had it flipped, just because I was going along with what the tarot and how it worked. But then when I really started working with the tools and with the elements, I've noticed that the Athame is more, the energy is more fire element, and the wand is more air. And of course, earth being the pinnacle and water being the chalice, but it's not today's topic. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to start just showing you guys my some of the different ones that I have and I've used, and if something comes to me, then I'll share it. So my first Athame is this guy. It has a button right here where it's old. So to push it, it has a thing on the back, and it comes open. I bought this at a fair back home. This is one of my first, I think it's my second. My first one, I don't have it, it's back at my parents'. I used, you know how the samurai swords, they have the three, where it's the longer sword, the tanto, or the medium, the smaller one. Well, I used the smaller one. I think it's the smaller one, or the medium one. It wasn't the big one. It was one of the two. I used that as my first Athame, and it was unconventional, but it felt right. Because I know people usually say Athame is a double-sided blade. Doesn't have to be, because I know people who use butter knives or chef's knives as Athames. So yeah, this is one of my first ones. I haven't used this one in a long time, just because I'm in a smaller space, so I actually use this little guy. I got this at a pagan festival a couple years ago. It's a letter opener, but it's a wizard's castle, and so I thought it's a really cool. And since it doesn't need to cut anything, it's just for direction, and I have the jewelry I can put my thumb on, kind of like a point or a grasp. So I like using this one a lot in the work that I do with my practice. Continue with the Athames. I do have this one. I was gifted this at my I was gifted this at my initiation. It has a magical name on the other side, so I'm not gonna show you that. Ooh, I just did. If you could see that. Not really. Okay. So, and as I'm moving, a lot of things are coming, they're coming up, they're getting out from under all my stuff. So, I have not used this. I may have used it once after I got it after my initiation. I'm no longer a part of that group, but I still think the initiation's valid. It's a beautiful blade. And I have the larger version of this that I got from a friend. It's about 2 times the size of this. It's got the same wrappings on the handle and the bottom. It's just a lot bigger and sharper because it was hers, and I bought it from her. She didn't want it anymore. It was a yard sale. So, but I don't know where that was. Is to show you. So, some of the next set of knives. I'm just showing you examples. These have not been used in circle. They have been cleansed, and they've been empowered for magical work, but I have not consecrated them or done anything to where I'm comfortable using them. Not a friend, but an ex-coworker did his own home blacksmithing. They're not the best looking knives, but I like the roughness to them. This is an iron. It's made out of I think it's a railroad spike. I believe it's a railroad spike, but you can definitely feel it's iron. I definitely do. I want to start using this for heavy protection work, but I haven't got around to it. The next one is I think this is copper or brass. It's got a bone handle with copper and the brass blade itself, and he gave a little wrap. Like I said, I have not used these at the moment. It's kind of like a samurai sword, but it's not a samurai. It's a tanto, a small blade. It's a wooden handle with the leather cord wrapping. So that is it. Now for my wands, I was at Athame wand fanatic. So any pretty wand that I found I really liked, I bought it. So I do have a lot of those too, which I have stopped just because. Oh, I'm sorry. I was moving stuff this morning, so I'm still in the process. We have maybe like a couple more carloads, and then we're done, and finally can settle down before the holidays. But at one point in time, and it's still Cunningham, I am a hoarder of magical things, whether it be books or supplies or things like that. So these guys, some of them have been used. They're all consecrated. They're all blessed for magical purpose, so I can pull them out and recharge them and use them anytime. So I have this guy. It's a huge green wand. I remember getting this online. I think it was like $15. It's pretty cool. I've only used this one a couple times. It was more along the lines of working with the goddess of earth, Gaia, and Demeter. I use this wand to help summon their energies into circle. That's what I usually use the wand for. I mean, I will use Athame or the wand for the lesser banishment ritual of the pentagram. If I feel one over the others calling out to me, like if I feel one night I need to do the wand, or one night I need to do the blade for extra, I think the blade is more, the Athame is more, it cuts the ties in banishment. I keep reiterating that, but I think it's a little more powerful. I'm not saying that I can't get the same results out of a wand, but I think with the lesser banishment ritual, the pentagram, the Athame does a lot more cleaner cuts since it's a blade. A little more potent. That's a better way to say it. So these three, I bought these all together. Well, not together, but I bought them from the same shop. It was the flea market. I'm not sure what wood this is. There's a tiger's eye spear at the bottom. I lost all the descriptions for the wood. I've had these for, God, a while, a long time, before I even met my partner, so I've had them for a while. Another one, I like this one. It's got a clear quartz on the bottom, and there's this guy. It's got a deer antler at the end. Alright, I do have a couple Harry Potter ones. I've used them a little bit, like, I've gotten 3 that are not from the Harry Potter website, then I've gotten one that is, Professor Trelawney, the divination professor. I have her wand I bought from the Noble Collection, and then I bought 2 other wands about a year apart. When the Fantastic Beasts came out, they had the wands at Barnes & Noble. I wasn't able to get one of the wands I wanted, which was Queenie and the head mistress of the American Ministry of Magic. I can't remember her name. I wanted to get her wand just because they had the pink crystal in it. I thought it was pretty. I have Norse Newt Smander, but I wasn't able to. I have Newts from Etsy. I found on Etsy. It's a resin cast wand, and I have James Potter and Ron Weasley wand, and over there. They're made out of resin, but they still work. This one is a lot bigger. Made from the same, made by the same person who made the blades that I haven't used. I've used this a couple times. It's pretty cool. It's a lot larger than my normal ones, which is very cool. These 2 ones, the last 2 that I'm going to show, and I'll go into, then I'll probably finish. This one is a Hawthorne wand. Oh, no, it's not. Where's my Hawthorne? This wand was gifted to me by my partner. It's an oak wand with a clear quartz bottom, a clear quartz crystal. I have blessed it. I have not used it. Comes in an awesome little package. I don't remember where he got it. Maybe the box will tell me. It comes in a box. Merlin's Realm. I know where he bought it. Merlin's Realm wands. It comes with a box. It comes with all the stuff. It comes with a scroll of how to bless it, how to consecrate it if you're not used to that. How to use a wand, what to expect, but of course what not to expect. Like you're not going to shoot flames or lightning out of the end of the wand. I mean, I'm not, well, no. So you're not going to be able to do that, but you are going to be able to work your magic with it. There's a book called Wand Lore. I don't remember who it's by, but it's a great book if you're interested in the making of wands, the different woods, how to use a wand, how to bless it, things like that. This is a willow wand. It's very light. I think it's from a piece of dowel wood. Got it custom made from a website. It took forever to get here. I do mean forever. I have not used it. Again, like I said, I've blessed it, but I have not used it. So there's a lot of things here that I don't use. But eventually, I will. So this is basically just show and tell. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, please leave them down below for me in the comment section. And until next week, I will be posting on time next Wednesday, after Christmas. I hope you guys have a happy holiday season. I hope you had a great solstice last night. And until next week, many blessings.